Welcome to the English for Today audiobook. In this video, you'll get the full audio of all 4 chapters from Unit 1 of the HSC 2026 English for Today book, perfect for improving your pronunciation and acing your speaking exams. Listen at 1.5x or 2x speed to breeze through the chapter quickly and efficiently. Get all the key insights in one place and level up your English skills fast. Enjoy the audiobook and make studying easier. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more.
Unit 1. Education and Life. Lesson 1. The Parrot's Tale. Rabindranath Tagore. Translated by Kaiser Hack. 1. Once upon a time there lived a bird. It was unlettered. It sang but couldn't recite a word of scripture. It hopped and it flew but lacked all sense of manners. The king said, "Such a bird is of no use. Yet it devours fruit from the forest, bringing down the profits of fruiterers in the royal market." He summoned the minister and commanded, "Educate the bird." The task of educating the bird fell on the king's nephews, his sister's sons. The learned men of the court deliberated long. They pondered the reasons behind the ignorance of the creature in question. The conclusion: the bird's nest made of straw and twigs could not hold much knowledge. Therefore, the first thing needed was a proper cage. The royal scholars received handsome fees and happily went home. 3. A goldsmith set to work on a gilded cage. It turned out to be of such exquisite workmanship that people from far and near crowded round for a look. Some said, "This is education par excellence." Others said, "Even if it learns nothing, it has got the cage. What a lucky bird!" The goldsmith was delighted to get a bag full of money as reward and went home at once. A teacher came to give lessons to the bird. He took a pinch of snuff and declared, "This isn't a matter of just a few texts." One of the royal nephews sent for scribes. They made multiple copies of various texts until there was a veritable mountain. "Bravo!" exclaimed those who saw it. "There is no room for any more knowledge." The scribes loaded their wages onto bullocks and merrily headed home. They would never again want for anything. The nephews were constantly busy looking after the expensive cage. Repairs were always underway. Anyone who saw the endless dusting, wiping, and polishing had to agree that there was marked improvement. A large maintenance crew was needed, and more personnel to supervise them. They all got handsome monthly salaries, which they saved in their wooden chests. Even their cousins came to live with them in cushioned comfort. For the world is short of many things but not detractors. They said, "The cage looks better no doubt, but has anyone taken notice of the bird?" This was reported to the king. He said to a nephew, "What's this I hear?" "Your Majesty," replied the nephew, "if you wish to hear the truth, summon the goldsmiths, the scholars, the scribes, the maintenance crew, and their supervisors. Those who haven't got a share of the royal bounty are resorting to slander." Everything became clear to the king, and he rewarded his nephew with a gold chain. 5. The king wished to see for himself at what an awesome pace the bird schooling was going on. One day he turned up at the schoolroom with his friends, counselors, and courtiers. At once the musicians at the gate struck up on their many wind and percussion instruments. The teachers shook their sacred tufts of hair as they loudly chanted mantras, and all the workmen, laborers, goldsmiths, scribes, and their numerous cousins raised slogans in praise of the king. A nephew commented, "Your Majesty can see how things are going on." "Astonishing," replied the king. "The din isn't negligible." "Not only the noise," said the nephew. "The meaning behind it isn't negligible either." The king was pleased and walked out of the gate to mount his elephant when one of the fault-finders, who had been lurking behind the bushes, shouted, "Have you seen the bird, Your Majesty?" The king was startled. He said, "There. I'd forgotten about it. We haven't seen the bird." He went back and said to the teacher, "We must see the manner in which you conduct the lessons." A demonstration followed. It pleased the king no end. The manner was so advanced that the bird was hardly visible. It seemed not at all necessary to see the bird. The king was satisfied that there was no flaw in the arrangements. Inside the cage there was neither any grain nor a drop of water. Only reams of texts were being torn and the pieces of paper thrust into the bird's mouth with the point of a quill. Not only had the singing stopped, there wasn't even scope for screeching. It was thrilling to watch. This time, as the king mounted the elephant, He ordered the officer entrusted with twisting the ears of mischief-makers to deal with the fault-finder. 6. Predictably, the bird weakened with every passing day, and lay half dead. The tutors considered it a good sign. Still, out of innate bad habit, it would look out at the morning light and flutter its wings in a reprehensible manner. In fact, on some days it would try to cut the wires of the cage with its feeble beak. "What impudence!" the inspector of police commented. Then the blacksmith arrived with his furnace, bellows, and hammer and anvil. What thunderous hammering began then! A chain was fastened on the bird's foot, and its wings were trimmed. The king's brothers-in-law looked greatly annoyed as they shook their heads and said, "It's not just that the birds in this kingdom are stupid, they are also ungrateful." Then the teachers, armed with quill in one hand and lance in the other, gave a memorable demonstration of teaching. The blacksmith's trade flourished to such an extent that gold ornaments bedecked his wife's body, and the police inspector's alertness earned him a medal. The bird died. When it died was not known. Thanks to the God-forsaken detractors, the rumor went round, "The bird is dead." The king called his nephew and said, "What is this I hear?" "Your Majesty," the nephew replied, "the bird's education has been completed." The king asked, "Does it hop?" "God forbid," said the nephew. "Does it still fly?" "No." "Does it still sing?" "No." "Does it screech if it isn't fed?" "No." "Bring it to me so that I can see it," said the king. The bird came. Along with it came the inspector, a guard, a cavalry officer. The king pressed the bird. It made no sound, not even a squeak. Only its stomach let out the rustling noise of dry pieces of paper. Outside, the green shoots of early spring sighed in the southerly breeze, filling the sky above the budding forest trees with wistful melancholy. Thanks for watching till the end. It looks like you enjoyed the video, so don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more audiobooks like this. Ready for the next lesson? Click on this video, and I'll see you there. Take care and see you soon. Lesson 2. Education and Technology. AI in the Classroom. Pros, Cons, and the Role of EdTech Companies. By Olufemi Shinubi. Artificial intelligence has the potential to revolutionize the way we learn and teach. As a tool in the classroom, AI can provide students with personalized learning experiences, automate repetitive tasks, and provide instant feedback. However, it also has its limitations. Let us explore the pros and cons of AI as a tool in the classroom, address the concern that AI could be a threat to teachers' and instructors' jobs, and discuss the role of EdTech companies in advancing this AI use case. Advantages of AI in the classroom. One of the main advantages I see of AI in the classroom is personalized learning. AI-powered educational tools can analyze data on student performance and provide tailored support to improve their grades. AI can also provide instant feedback. For example, AI-powered educational tools can provide students with immediate feedback on their work, allowing them to identify and correct mistakes quickly. Another advantage of AI is its ability to automate repetitive tasks. It can grade assignments and quizzes, which can free up teachers' time for other tasks, such as lesson planning and providing more one-on-one attention to students. There are already a few AI tools that support learning in classroom or workplace contexts. For example, Ahura is an AI-powered learning assistant that tracks learning habits by observing attention and engagement. Newton offers an adaptive learning platform that provides personalized learning experiences for students. Quirium is an AI-powered tutor that provides students with step-by-step tutoring on math problems and builds personalized lesson plans. Alex is an AI-powered learning platform that provides individualized learning paths based on student strengths and weaknesses. Carnegie Learning offers an AI-powered tutor that helps students improve their math skills by providing personalized learning based on their performance. There's also Smart Sparrow, which allows users to provide constructive feedback that is unique to each student. Finally, Gradescope is an AI-powered grading tool that automates the grading process, which can free up teachers' time and allow them to provide more individualized attention to students. These are just a few examples of AI tools with applications in the classroom. It is important to note that these tools should not replace teachers but rather assist them in their work. Downsides and challenges of AI in the classroom. Some teachers and instructors may see AI as a threat to their jobs, believing it will automate their tasks and make them redundant. But it is important to note that AI is not meant to replace teachers but rather to assist them in their work. AI is a tool and should be developed and used as such. There are also negatives to consider, one of which is the cost of developing and implementing AI-powered educational tools. This can be a significant barrier for schools and teachers who need more resources to invest in AI technology. There is also the lack of human interaction and emotional support that students receive when using AI-powered educational tools. While AI can provide personalized learning and instant feedback, it cannot replace the human and emotional support that students need to succeed, and relying too heavily on AI-powered educational tools may impact students negatively. Privacy concerns are also a limitation of AI in the classroom. AI-powered educational tools may collect and store sensitive personal data, which raises concerns about privacy and security. The role of edtech companies. Edtech companies play a crucial role in advancing the use of AI in the classroom and ensuring that it is used ethically and responsibly. To do so, they should consider the following. Cost. The cost of developing and implementing AI-powered educational tools can be a significant barrier for schools and teachers. EdTech companies should work to make AI technology accessible to a broader range of schools and teachers and explore alternative funding options, such as grants or partnerships, to help offset the costs. Human interaction. AI-powered educational tools cannot replace the human and emotional support that students need to succeed. EdTech companies should aim to develop AI tools that augment, rather than replace, the role of teachers and provide students with a well-rounded education that includes both personalized learning and human interaction. Privacy and security. Privacy concerns are a significant limitation of AI in the classroom. EdTech companies must ensure that the sensitive personal data collected and stored by AI-powered educational tools are properly secured and that privacy is maintained. Improved AI capabilities. Current AI-powered educational tools have limitations, such as a lack of creativity and originality and a limited understanding of context. EdTech companies should aim to improve AI capabilities and overcome these limitations to create more advanced, innovative, and effective AI tools for the classroom. Ethical considerations. EdTech companies should consider the ethical implications of AI technology in education and develop AI tools in a transparent, fair, and responsible manner. They must also ensure that they develop and use AI tools in accordance with the laws and regulations governing data privacy, security, and intellectual property. In conclusion, AI has the potential to be a valuable addition to the classroom. Still, EdTech companies should develop AI tools with caution and in collaboration with teachers, educators, and students to ensure that they are helpful, ethical, and effective in meeting the needs of learners. I believe that AI could revolutionize the way we teach and learn. Summary of Lesson 2: Education and Technology. Key concepts. AI in education. Artificial intelligence, AI, can transform teaching and learning by providing personalized learning experiences, automating repetitive tasks, and offering instant feedback. Examples include tools like Ahura, Newton, Quirium, Alex, and Carnegie Learning. Advantages: personalized support for students, time-saving automation for teachers, and immediate feedback are significant benefits of AI in education. Challenges: cost. High development and implementation costs make AI inaccessible for many schools. Human interaction. AI cannot replace the emotional and social support provided by teachers. Privacy concerns. Sensitive data collection poses risks to student privacy and security. Job security fears. Some educators see AI as a threat to their roles, though AI is designed to assist, not replace, teachers. Role of EdTech companies. Develop ethical and transparent AI tools. Ensure data security and address privacy concerns. Make AI solutions affordable and accessible. Collaborate with educators to create tools that augment human interaction rather than replace it. Conclusion: while AI has the potential to revolutionize education, its implementation requires careful development, ethical considerations, and collaboration with stakeholders to ensure its benefits outweigh the challenges. Hey there! I noticed you made it to the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. There's plenty more content like this on the channel, so don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated on future videos. And hey, click here to check out the next one. I'll see you there.
The new school. When she saw the gate of the new school, Tato-chan stopped. The gate of the school she used to go to had fine concrete pillars with the name of the school in large characters. But the gate of this new school simply consisted of two rather short posts that still had twigs and leaves on them. "This gate's growing," said Tato-chan. "It'll probably go on growing till it's taller than the telephone poles." The two gateposts were clearly trees with roots. When she got closer, she had to put her head to one side to read the name of the school because the wind had blown the sign ASCII. Tado-chan was about to ask Mother what Tomo meant when she caught a glimpse of something that made her think she must be dreaming. She squatted down and peered through the shrubbery to get a better look, and she couldn't believe her eyes. "Mother, is that really a train?" There, in the school grounds, for its classrooms, the school had made use of 6 abandoned railroad cars. To Tado-chan, it seemed something you might dream about. A school and a train. The windows of the railroad cars sparkled in the morning sunlight. But the eyes of the rosy-cheeked little girl gazing at them through the shrubbery sparkled even more. "I like this school." A moment later, Tado-chan let out a whoop of joy and started running toward the train school, calling out to Mother over her shoulder. "Come on, hurry. Let's get on this train that's standing still." Startled, Mother began to run after her. Mother had been on a basketball team once, so she was faster than Tado-chan and caught hold of her dress just as she reached the door. "You can't go in yet," said Mother, holding her back. "The cars are classrooms, and you haven't even been accepted here yet. If you really want to get on this train, you'll have to be nice and polite to the headmaster. We're going to call on him now, and if all goes well, you'll be able to go to this school. Do you understand?" Tado-chan was awfully disappointed not to get on the train right away, but she decided she had better do as Mother told her. "All right," she said, and then added, "I like this school a lot." Mother felt like telling her it wasn't a matter of whether she liked the school, but of whether the headmaster liked her. But she just let go of Tado-chan's dress, took hold of her hand, and started walking toward the headmaster's office. All the railroad cars were quiet, for the first classes of the day had begun. Instead of a wall, the not very spacious school grounds were surrounded by trees, and there were flower beds full of red and yellow flowers. The headmaster's office wasn't in a railroad car, but was on the right-hand side of one-story building that stood at the top of a semicircular flight of about 7 stone steps opposite the gate. Tado-chan let go of Mother's hand and raced up the steps, then turned around abruptly, almost causing Mother to run into her. "What's the matter?" Mother asked, fearing Tado-chan might have changed her mind about the school. Standing above her on the top step, Tado-chan whispered to Mother in all seriousness, "The man we're going to see must be his station master." Mother had plenty of patience as well as great sense of fun. She put her face close to Tado-chan's and whispered, "Why?" Tado-chan whispered back, "You said he was the headmaster, but if he owns all these trains, he must be his station master." Mother had to admit it was unusual for a school to make use of old railroad cars, but there was no time to explain. She simply said, "Why don't you ask him yourself? And, anyway, what about Daddy? He plays the violin and owns several violins, but that doesn't make our house a violin shop, does it?" "No, it doesn't," Tado-chan agreed, catching hold of Mother's hand. The headmaster. When Mother and Tado-chan went in, the man in the office got up from his chair. His hair was thin on top, and he had a few teeth missing, but his face was a healthy color. Although he wasn't very tall, he had solid shoulders and arms, and was neatly dressed in a rather shabby black 3-piece suit. With a hasty bow, Tado-chan asked him spiritedly, "What are you, a schoolmaster or a station master?" Mother was embarrassed, but before she had time to explain, he laughed and replied, "I'm the headmaster of this school." Tado-chan was delighted. "Oh, I'm so glad," she said, "because I want to ask you a favor. I'd like to come to your school." The headmaster offered her a chair and turned to Mother. "You may go home now. I want to talk to Tado-chan." Tado-chan had a moment's uneasiness, but somehow felt she would get along all right with this man. "Well, then, I'll leave her with you," Mother said bravely, and shut the door behind her as she went out. The headmaster drew over a chair and put it facing Tado-chan, and when they were both sitting down close together, he said, "Now then, tell me all about yourself. Tell me anything at all you want to talk about. Anything I like?" Tado-chan had expected him to ask questions she would have to answer. When he said she could talk about anything she wanted, she was so happy she began straight away. It was all a bit higgledy-piggledy, but she talked for all she was worth. She told the headmaster how fast the train went that they had come on, how she had asked the ticket collector, but he wouldn't let her keep her ticket, how pretty her homeroom teacher was at the other school, about the swallow's nest, about their brown dog, Rocky, who could do all sorts of tricks, how she used to go snip-snip with the scissors inside her mouth at kindergarten, and the teacher said she mustn't do that because she might cut her tongue off, but she did it anyway, how she always blew her nose because Mother scolded her if it was runny, what a good swimmer Daddy was, and how he could dive as well. She went on and on. The headmaster would laugh, nod, and say, and then, and Tato-chan was so happy, she kept right on talking. But finally, she ran out of things to say. She sat with her mouth closed, trying hard to think of something. "Haven't you anything more you can tell me?" asked the headmaster. What a shame to stop now, Tato-chan thought. It was such a wonderful chance. Wasn't there anything else she could talk about? She wondered, racking her brains. Then she had an idea. She could tell him about the dress she was wearing that day. Mother made most of her dresses, but this one came from a shop. Her clothes were always torn when she came home in the late afternoon. Some of the rips were quite bad. Mother never knew how they got that way. Even her white cotton panties were sometimes in shreds. She explained to the headmaster that they got torn when she crossed other people's gardens by crawling under their fences, and when she burrowed under the barbed wire around vacant lots. So this morning, she said, when she was getting dressed to come here, all the nice dresses Mother had made were torn. So she had to wear one Mother had bought. It had small dark red and gray checks and was made of jersey, and it wasn't bad, but Mother thought the red flowers embroidered on the collar were in bad taste. "Mother doesn't like the collar," said Tato-chan, holding it up for the headmaster to see. After that, she could think of nothing more to say, no matter how hard she tried. It made her rather sad. But just then, the headmaster got up, placed his large, warm hand on her head, and said, "Well, now you're a pupil of this school." Tato-chan hadn't learned how to tell time yet, but it did seem like a rather long time. If she had been able to, she would have been astonished and even more grateful to the headmaster. For, you see, Mother and Tato-chan arrived at the school at 8. And when she had finished talking and the headmaster had told her she was a pupil of the school, he looked at his pocket watch and said, "Ah, it's time for lunch." So the headmaster must have listened to Tato-chan for 4 solid hours. Neither before nor since did any grown-up listen to Tato-chan for as long as that. And besides, it would have amazed Mother and her homeroom teacher to think that a 7-year-old child could find enough to talk about for 4 hours nonstop. Tato-chan had no idea then, of course, that she had been expelled and that people were at their wits' end to know what to do. Having a naturally sunny disposition and being a bit absent-minded gave her an air of innocence. But deep down, she felt she was considered different from other children and slightly strange. The headmaster, however, made her feel safe and warm and happy. She wanted to stay with him forever. That's how Tato-chan felt about Headmaster Sosaka Kobayashi that first day. And luckily, the headmaster felt the same about her.
Lesson 4. Civic Engagement. Read the texts below. When you have finished reading, use the grid and write in your own words how the 3 terms, civic engagement, volunteerism, and service learning are similar and dissimilar. Education aims to bring about positive changes in our behavior. It helps us try to change our lives as well as the society we live in. Education that does not illuminate our minds or does not inspire us to work for the community is not complete at all. Education is not all about getting grades or receiving certificates. We use education to make life better. We are expected to apply the knowledge, skills, and values that we learn in a classroom in our engagement with the world that lies outside. And we can do so in many different ways. Let's have a look at how education works. Learners' civic engagement is highly appreciated all over the world. Civic engagement means working to make a difference in the civic life, the public life of the citizens as contrasted with private or personal life of the community using knowledge, skills, values, and motivation. Civic engagement promotes the quality of life in a community by contributing to the improvement of health and well-being of the people. Civically engaged individuals recognize themselves as members of a larger social community and are concerned about civic issues. They consider themselves responsible citizens who take action or raise their voices against injustice, discrimination, and other forms of social ills. In civic engagement, issues of public concern are crucial. Civic engagement includes individual or group activities to protect public interests and change the way the community values itself. For example, if you are protesting against any unjust decision of the local municipality, such as raising taxes or an act that might work against people's interests, you are civically engaged and your action is considered a civic engagement. This protest can be done in different ways, such as organizing rallies, collecting signatures, making human chains, writing petitions, etc. You can also help control traffic in front of a school, help children cross the roads, work in a team to clean a park or a sea beach. You can also give services to elderly people. These are all examples of civic engagement, as what you do directly affects the community. When civic engagement is a part of an academic program, and the learner's engagement is assessed following a scale, then it is called service learning. It involves the application of knowledge and skills learned in the classroom and then making a complete plan of action, i.e., preparing a budget, starting the process of implementation, involving people, and activating operational strategies. When civic engagement is spontaneous but irregular and not a part of any academic program, it is considered volunteerism. Read the stories below. When you have finished reading, write on the blank space on the top of each story what the story is about: civic engagement, volunteerism, or service learning. Scenario 1. A group of college students were watching television news in their hostel. They were touched by the plight of the flood-affected people in Sunamganj. All the rivers and water bodies there had overflowed their banks because of the onrush of floodwater from the hills beyond our border. Their homes, huts, bazaars, shops, and croplands were under several feet of water. The local administration had rescued the people and accommodated them in schools that were on higher grounds. Villagers in the nearby areas were helping these people in all possible ways. Yet, ensuring drinking water, cleanliness, and hygiene was a big challenge. The schools had toilets, but these were clearly not enough. Seeing this situation, Ahmed, Swapan, Rakib, and Naladri quickly decided to go to Sunamganj and work for the flood victims. But to do that, they needed money which they did not have. They began by pooling their own contributions and talked with their classmates, teachers, and local lawmakers and civil society members for assistance. Everyone came forward to help them. Some guardians also contributed. Their collection was not bad, about Taka 300,000, with which they could provide some substantial help to the flood victims. They could buy dry food like high-protein biscuits, gur, molasses, kaira, beaten rice, drinking water, water purification tablets, toilet cleaners, and liquid soaps. Their priority was senior citizens, who were over 70 years of age, and children. They stayed there for more than a week and then came back after government agencies took over and some flood-affected people started going back home. When the four friends were back in their town, they seemed to have lost some weight, but were happy and satisfied that their efforts had been immensely rewarded. Scenario 2. Alex, an 11-year-old boy from California, was watching TV at home with his parents when he came across the news of severe winter weather conditions in a remote town in Romania. The news that many people in the town had no proper heating in their homes and were facing serious health hazards upset him. He compared the comfort he was enjoying in his nicely heated house to the distressing condition the Romanian people were in and felt ashamed. He thought their eyes looked so vacant and lifeless. Alex was not an outgoing boy in his school and mostly kept to himself. Teachers were worried about how the introverted boy would do in exams. The students were supposed to do something for the community in whatever ways possible, and their involvement was to be continually monitored and assessed. So far, Alex hadn't been able to set any example of doing something for his community. When he came to his teacher with a video clip of the news report and expressed his interest in doing something for the winter-affected people in the Romanian town, the teacher was surprised. How come, she thought. But she became increasingly attentive as Alex presented his case. The boy was very emotional when he said, "We must do something for these people. The kids are like us. We cannot live here in comfort, leaving them in such distress." Alex's plea touched the teacher. She wanted to know what he had planned. He told her that he had talked to others in the class, and they all would like to donate a month of their pocket money for these poor fellows to save their lives. The teacher then guided the class to take up a project. The boys, with the help of the teacher, worked it out. They contacted the local municipality in the Romanian town and expressed an interest to work for them. They also contacted their own lawmakers, who also contributed to their fund. Then, a small team led by the teacher went to Romania. They spent a couple of weeks with the people, helped them put heating in their houses, and supplied them with sufficient blankets and food. The school authority monitored the whole process from the first to the last. They warmly welcomed them back. Everyone was proud of the students who had made and carried out their own plan, helped the people in their need, stood beside them to give mental and emotional support, and came back home as young heroes.